UBC, inspiring Uganda.
A very good afternoon to you, dear viewer. My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango, and this is your lunchtime news. Now into the bulletin at the release of the United Nations Human Development Report for 2023-2024. It was highlighted that Uganda has moved to a low-middle income status, just one step shy away from becoming a middle-income country. The United Nations resident coordinator for Uganda, Susan Ngoji Namondo, revealed that Uganda has finally fulfilled its requirements to be added on the list.
Category. I also want to inform that Uganda's transition to the medium human development category aligns with an exciting message that I got a few days ago. The UN Committee for Development Policy has announced lower middle income country category for the first time.
Low index country in the human development indices to a medium level country. It has moved 5 to 7 places in that ranking, and Uganda is consistently across board performing above the average for sub-Saharan Africa in some of the indices that we use in measuring human development. We have been told here that life expectancy in Uganda, a child born in Uganda this year, is expected to live 17 years longer than previous times.
Now, UPC's Sarah Aguti was yesterday declared winner of a Dolo District Woman Member of Parliament in a hotly contested by-election. Aguti was trailed by NRM's Jane Rose Adongo Elau and the FDC's Rosemary Olwach Agwal came third in the race to replace her mother.
UPC Sarah Aguti has won the Dolo Woman Parliamentary by-election. Aguti, having secured the highest number of votes, 23,044, was declared by the Dolo District Returning Officer Erikwaine Ngobi. She will be replacing Cecilia Barbara Timogwal, who passed on in January this year.
I feel so happy today for what has happened, and I feel so proud for UPC to win this election.
Her closest opponent, Janet Rosa Dongelau of the National Resistance Movement, garnered 14,001 votes, followed by FDC's Rosemary Alwach with the 8,168 votes, and independent Eunice Kulobot with the 790 votes. Harriet, again of the National Unity Platform, got 727 votes, while another independent candidate, Rebecca Rao, came last with 439 votes.
Accordingly, as returning officer for local electoral districts and in accordance with section 53 of the Parliamentary Elections Act, declare Aguti Sarah, who has obtained the largest number of votes, winner.
Speaking shortly after, UPC's president Jim McKenna says the win is a testament to the serious mobilization the party has embarked on ahead of 2026.
It was a test case. We tested a lot of our plans and mobilization structures, and I honestly believe that it's a clear indication that as UPC we're heading on our way up and we're preparing very seriously for the 2026 elections. I think it's a wonderful win. I want to congratulate my candidate. It was a tough but short race, and thanks to the people of Dokolo for giving confidence in the Ghana People's Congress.
Meanwhile, FDC's Rosemary Alwach and her party president Patrick Oboa Muriat conceded defeat, saying results of the democratic process must be respected. Alwach, who came third in the race, was seeking to replace her mother, Cecilia Atimogwalu.
And in a democracy, the majority are the winner. In this particular case, the winner has been declared as Sarah Aguri. We have got to accept that the people have listened to very different versions and visions of where Dolo was going to be. They have chosen one vision. That vision was given to them by Sarah Aguri.
And you know, dealing with simple minds of our voters, anything can trigger some form of thinking in a direction that would adversely affect the standing of any candidate. And so this is the negative impact that it had on our candidate, who, in my view, and everybody's view really, was the best candidate in this contest.
Out of the 90,733 registered voters across 167 polling stations, 31,996 participated in this by-election. On his part, Justice Simon Biabakama Mugenyi, the Electoral Commission chairperson, commended the people of Dokolo for their calmness during the entire voting process.
As we head towards 2025-26 general elections, let us resolve as Ugandans that peace and stability are paramount and should never be sacrificed like the altar of electioneering.
Nevertheless, on the voting day, there were some few cases of irregularities in which a young woman MP was arrested by police for suspected voter bribery. A search was done in her car and the legislator was released on bond. This led to a verbal exchange between police and UPC president.
Who is that? DPC. Now, are you the only people in the whole of Dokolo who do not see the RDCs distributing 200,000 per village?
UPC Sarah Aguri now becomes the second woman MP for Dokolo District, replacing Cecilia Barbara Timogwala, who passed on in January this year. This is also the first time UPC is winning in the district and the second by-election win after the win last year in Oyam North, a position that was left by Labour Minister Charles Okele Ngwala Machodwogo. Eddie Olwa, UPC News.
Jubilant indeed. Now, as Uganda joins the rest of the world to commemorate the World Water Day, there is hope that it will reach the United Nations safe water coverage of 100% by 2030. This is visibly seen by the increasing number of waterworks all over the country and drilling of boreholes by non-governmental organizations. Let's hear more in this report.
Achieving the United Nations set targets for safe water coverage by 2030 is in the spotlight as the government reaches 70% safe water coverage. while commissioning 31 boreholes drilled this year by the Nile Humanitarian Development Agency in Luwero. Chairman Issa Chilalira stated that access to quality, safe and clean water should not be a privilege for the few.
Others may take it lightly, but water is life and water is very important. Like you recognize the theme, accelerating change to solve the global water and sanitation crisis. The moment you respect this theme, you would have contributed greatly to eliminating disease. And I think all the hospitals in the world will recognize your input, because the moment cleanness is available, as a result of water being available, diseases are nowhere. So we are glad to join the world in marking World Water Day 2023, of which the theme is accelerating change to solve the global water and sanitation crisis. We believe that access to quality, safe and clean water should not be a preserve of the few, but a right for all.
Chilalira thanked the government for providing a conducive environment that favors non-governmental organizations to implement programs that meet Uganda's general development goals.
And this credit goes to none other than His Excellency the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for creating a very good environment where NGOs like Nile Humanitarian Development Agency and others, and of course Ministry of Water, to avail every citizen water. I think we are getting there when it comes to the goals of millennium, when it comes to millennium goals, because water is one of them.
On their part, Luwero residents praised the Nile Humanitarian Development Agency for this contribution.
We had a great challenge of water. We have a big enrollment here at school, but we were always challenged with the water. Being a dry season, children used to walk around looking for water with the bottles of water which they got at home, but within a very short time that water was always used up.
Before that, we were challenged with water. Our children would move around, would move longer distances looking for water, and they work at the school. We are delaying because of water. But now everything is going on smoothly.
Okay. My name is Nabunya Khanifa, a school director of Luwero Happy Hours Junior School. But our pupils were walking a longer distance, searching for water. In fact, sometimes we thought that accidents might get accidents on the way getting water.
The day was celebrated under the theme Accelerating Change to Solve the Global Water and Sanitation Crisis. Sudat Kaye and Henry Muganga, UBC News.
And then as we look into the Ministry of ICT, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Honorable Chris Bediomonsi, has applauded Muslims for adhering to the fundamental principles of their faith, especially during the month of Ramadan. He made these remarks at an iftar dinner that was hosted by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Amina Zawede.
You excuse me. As in the NRM government, we believe in freedom of worship. Ugandans are free to belong to different religious denominations. That's why we have Muslims free to live in the country, Christians free to be in the country, other forms of religions, provided you don't break the law, to be free. But all of us unite as Ugandans and we take the country forward.
Islam, first of all, teaches us to be peaceful. Just like any other religion, we all believe in one God. And we all believe in peace. We all believe in being good to each other. They say be good to your neighbor, or love your neighbor the way you love yourself. That is the teaching across for Christianity, for Islam. But yeah, and we all believe in that, and in Islam we really reflect strongly on those pillars.
I also said, and I still say, that you have a sense of deep spirituality. I am not necessarily comparing you with Christians, but they're going to say this time, it's time for prayers. Muslims will go for prayers.
Reflect on our purpose as Muslims, reflect on our purpose as staff of the Ministry of ICT, and reflect on the fact that we are here to improve people's lives and to do good and to be exemplary. We have to live by example. We have to live by the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in whatever we do, and then we will all live together in harmony.
Let's try, especially in Ramadan, to live a better life. We reflect in Ramadan. In Ramadan, it's a time of change.
Our Uganda National Bureau of Standards and Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources have engaged fuel consumers and leaders in Rwenzori in a bid to ensure fuel quality standards and compliance within the region. According to the ministry officials, the overall compliance fuel standards currently stand at 93.3%. However, non-compliance is still a challenge, especially on the border areas of the country.
Most of them comply, and normally when we have a few areas of adulteration, we find products mixed up with paraffin. Obviously, there are penalties that are enshrined in the Petroleum Supply Act, and we act accordingly, depending on an outlet that is affected. If you look at where we used to be 10 years back and where we are now, we really appreciate the compliance improvement in this region.
Umutwaro ni emwe nazo zingahi ina neza kushaho umutwaro kutero emwe nazo zingahi ishatu naza kwa kama zitakazingahi garuko bitumutwaro iyo ni base ebitumo ebikebero kuraba tugogo yagarita efurumanga lita Ministry of Energy ekebero mukindo okuraba tugogo yagara amafuta amarundi gafurumanga amafuta chi marundi
Notama zitaga tutu ubipiki uvuga haki ugarako teka hamajita agiro miliyoni bitaragamba abiyubeye gamaramu ogire bugufi.
If there is any fire outbreak, because this is a fuel, much lives will be at stake, will be lost.
And as far as power prices are concerned, it's a very competitive market, and the prices are determined by the market. Premiums change every month, and flats also keeps moving. So once you see prices going down, it implies one of those two has gone low.
If the pumps are good, then the responsibility remains with you, the buyer of fuel, to make sure you are not cheated. When you come, look at the price on the billboard, ensure that what you see on the billboard is the same price that you see on the pump, because the pump is the metering unit is going to use the declared price on the pump, not the one on the billboard.
First time we penalize you. How? We seal the station, then we verify the amount of fuel which is in the tank. That fuel which is in the tank, we look at the pump price at which you are selling. So we multiply the volumes in the tank times the pump price times 10%. That's the penalty. It's very big. Like if we find you with 1,000 liters here, which is adulterated, and you are selling at 5,000, that is 5 million penalty.
Now, Uganda Kingdom has challenged environmental conservation crusaders to be intentional and mainstream the fight against environmental degradation in order to influence the desired change as regards to conservation of Uganda's ecosystems and biodiversity, citing efforts employed by Uganda Kingdom to promote adherence to her rich cultural beliefs and norms by Uganda. The second Deputy Katikiro Robert Wagwa Nsibirwa says proponents of environmental conservation should take the same route for desired results.
I come from what they call the Ngonge clan.
Given her geographical location, Uganda Kingdom is one of the areas that have had to deal with the devastating effects of climate change.
70% of the money of the economy of this country is generated within the boundaries of the kingdom. So because of economic activities, definitely pressures to degrade the environment is very, very high.
It is for this reason that the second Deputy Katikiro of Uganda, Robert Wagwa Nsibirwa, wants advocates of environmental conservation to intensify their advocacy.
Consistent messaging, being intentional consistently, and mainstreaming the message. The shock and awe should bring results in the space of environment preservation and promotion. So all of us have to mainstream this and not have it as a part-time activity. We need to have it mainstreamed in everything. When we are organizing the coronation, Hajat, where is the environment? We're organizing the Kabaka birthday run, where is the environment? We are going to play Grajama Sasa. What angle do we have for the environment? I think that's the only way we should be able to make some movement.
Already, the kingdom is servicing a 5-year, 19-objective strategic plan that, among others, emphasizes the need for sustainable management of the environment and natural resources.
We are not talking just about the environment. We have it in our strategic plan. And we have done something, and I just want to quickly mention a few and a couple of them. The Luchiko of Uganda, the Great Luchiko of Uganda, passed a resolution which is being implemented. Everyone going to be introduced in a home of Kwanjula. If you were male from any part of the world, whether Mzungu or Anacholi, and coming within the home of a Muganda, you must bring a minimum of 3 seedlings of indigenous trees. And you must plant it. You must plant it in that home. You don't just bring the seedling and leave it there. No. It's a ceremony of planting the tree. You plant one tree. Your future wife plants another tree. And the parents plant the 3rd tree. And we do this every weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when we have introduction. It's a dictum. And we think we plant about maybe 100 trees every weekend through the Kwanjula in Uganda. Now that's a cultural approach to saving the environment.
In this regard, the advent of the Chibira Cha Kabaka initiative is seen as flashpoint incident to Uganda's deliberate efforts to restoring the depleted, conserving and protecting the ecosystem in Uganda and beyond.
Well, it's time for us to run for a break, and we will return with more news. Stay with us.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dolo, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, Peoples of Eastern Uganda segment. How have they negotiated the colonial border that divided the Luya nation into two countries?
The Basamia, Babukusu, the Bagwe, the Bamasava, all belonging to the Valuya of Kenya.
The last man to be identified as a Mugisu was Masaba.
He just emerged from the ground like a mushroom.
The confluence and hybridity of the peoples of the Great Lakes region come alive in eastern Uganda.
Of course, the true Baganda, they know that they originated in Mount Elgon region.
The Baramogi share language with Bagwere.
Premiering on Saturday, the 23rd of March 2024 at the National Theatre from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko Pamoja?
Ebisera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
Welcome back from that short break. As we continue, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation has hosted the Managing Director of South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation, James Magok Chilim. In his interaction with the Managing Director, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, Winston Egaba, James Magok requested UBC to offer technical assistance to his institution now that they are preparing for general elections.
He came here to see how the UBC is working, and South Sudan is preparing for general election 2024, and we are looking forward to have a support from UBC, the team of UBC, the expert, the training. We also wanted UBC to come and cover elections. We exchanged with MD on how we can work together as both countries and both sister institutions work together. I have an issues of technical work, which I'm also requesting the MD to have a UBC technical team, the engineer, to come ground there and see our setup and how they can help us. We are also working on how to bring our team here to be able to see what I have seen now, the well-done setup, the newsroom, all the control room.
We've interacted before, and we look forward to sharing experiences and making sure that the experience we have, because we have very experienced engineers, reporters, and it's a cross-cutting area that we look forward to working with them, supporting them, and as the East African community gets together, we need to look at better ways of leveraging our numbers. So other than going to negotiate for satellite as UBC, as South Sudan Broadcasting, as Kenya Broadcasting, Tanzania, we want to go as a block. Even for rights, like for football and all that. And that's what I was saying about space, about manpower. Everyone can be controlled by what they want to do.
Now, the State Minister for Luwero Rwenzori Triangle, Alice Kaboyo, has advised NRM leaders in Luwero to forget about the past and unite to recapture areas where they did not perform well in last elections. Minister said this during the engagement of NRM administrators and sub-county registrars in Luwero district.
Government is going to, after all, this is maker of NRM or government. We hope that many people are coming back to the movement. That is what we preach, that's what we yearn for. for people. They have already discovered that there is nothing that they were running for in other parties because those parties cannot support them or even manage government. It is only NRM that is able to manage this government.
It is very gratifying to see people who had moved out of NRM coming back to register and also putting their assurance that they are now back in NRM.
Now, the State Minister for Ethics and Integrity, Roselily Akello, has called upon Ugandans to desist from corruption in order to get better service delivery in the country.
For holding all this is to get out there, to share with the district leaders, to share with the political wing in the district and the community on how the service delivery is being done in the districts. And mainly on how we can get them to know on how to fight corruption in this country. We can get out what is really in depth in the district, which is making service delivery to fail in the district. We can take services to the people because the government has given money, is to be corrupt free. Can we get this money which government has brought and we take down to the people? If it is to construct a health center, construct something which is valuable to the money government has brought.
Farming season has started and the farmers have gone back to those far farms and rich farms which they used to get food from.
Today, you can move in Karenga either at night, either during the day, at any time you feel you want. So the point of insecurity is no longer in Karenga.
The enrollment in schools now is high. When you go to the hospitals, the accessibility of the community to the health units is free.
Well, that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for being a part of us. Let's meet again at 8 and 10. Good afternoon.
Great lead bounce pass, and Jones up ahead to score. 3-ball would tie the game after Utah's very good start in the opening 3 or 4 minutes.